Happy Saturday. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Well, it's still early anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
still good. Still fresh.
yeah, so
I'm
far
not
so
dying
good.
yet.
Yeah, especially in Korea,
Mhm.
today the weather is really good. There is no fine dust, and then it's warmer than before.
Spring is finally coming.
Yes, right.
Ah, no wonder a lot of students are not doing the Sparta today. The weather is too good.
Yes, right. It's
Of
very good
course.
for outdoor activities.
Outdoor stuff. Yeah, actually, my student sent me a message. She actually
Ah,
said,
yes,
I'm sorry,
right.
I booked your classes, but I have to cancel because I have to
Yeah,
go. I have to go out.
yeah.
So
Please
I think,
understand them.
yes, exactly. So now I know the reason. Thank you for
Yes,
telling
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Oh, okay. And what would you like us to tackle for today's article? What is
Today's
our article?
article, I'd like to discuss about the unemployment issue. The number,
Hmm.
hmm, wait a second,
466?
exactly,
Okay.
466.
Okay. Ooh.
So, yeah, okay. So
Mhm.
may I read the article before we
Of
start?
course.
Yeah.
Now I know how you do the article.
Okay.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not uncertain anymore. So
Okay.
be my guest. Please start.
Okay. The global unemployment rate inched down last year, the UN said Wednesday, February 13th, warning though that jobs often fail to guarantee decent living, with some 700 million workers wailing in poverty. Unemployment around the world fell last year to 5% from 5.1% in 2017. For the first time, dropping to the levels seen before the global financial crisis hit in 2008, the International Labour Organization said. But in its flagship World, on World Employment and Social Outlook Trends report, the ILO also raised serious red flags about the health of the planet's job market. Deborah Greenfield, ILO's Deputy Director General, told journalists in Geneva,
Geneva.
Geneva that the decline in global unemployment is projected to stay amid uncertainty on many fronts and a deteriorating economic outlook.
Okay.
The UN agency said it expected the jobless rate to remain at roughly the same level this year and in 2020, although the number of unemployed people should swell by 2 million to a total of 174 million next year as a result of the expanding labor force. In particular, the report highlighted the hundreds of millions of people who remain poor despite holding one or more jobs. In fact, it found that majority of the 3.3 billion people employed around the globe last year suffered a lack of material well-being, economic security, equal opportunities, or scope for human development. Being in employment does not always guarantee a decent living. ILO Research Director Daniel Daniel
Grimshaw.
Grimshaw said in a statement, pointing out that a full 700 million people are living in extreme or moderate poverty despite having em- employment. The report found that a full 61% of all workers worldwide, or 2 billion people, are in so-called informal employment with little to no social and contractual protections.
Hmm.
Greenfield cautions that some new and emerging business models, such as using new technologies, to create temporary work through web-based platforms for things like riding sharing services could expand the number if not regulated properly. Without the right policy measures, it could easily add to the informal labor force, she said. Among other issues highlighted in the report was the lack of progress in closing the gender gap in labor force participation, especially in the Arab states, North Africa, and South Asia.
Mhm.
ILO found that just 48% of women are in the workforce, compared to 75% of men, meaning that around 3 in 5 employed people last year were men.
Mhm.
In the Arab states, for instance, the report found that the unemployment rate for men stood at 15.6%, three times that for men. That's all.
Whoa, that's kind of high.
Yeah.
That's also kind of sexist. Sorry.
Mm.
All right. So I was actually wondering.
Yeah.
Um, I know that the job market in your country is very, very bad these days.
Yeah, this is
Since last
especially,
year.
yeah, especially for youth,
Mm.
graduate students. They are actually having big trouble to find a decent job. I heard the unemployment rate for them is almost 40%.
That's high.
Yeah, really high.
Ah, okay. So compared to your time, to your generation,
Yeah.
well, how hard was it to find a job during your time?
Yeah, actually, Korean media always say the unemployment rate is getting higher than before. Even in
Mm.
my generation, I
Mm.
heard, yeah, it's more difficult to find the decent job because in Korea, maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when the Korea is growing up in the economy very fast, at the time,
Mm.
yeah, it was very easy to find job. But now it's getting worse because we are losing lots of good job place or good business industry to
Mm.
China. Many factories moved to China, and many opportunity for the good job moved to China or
Mm.
Vietnam.
Yes,
Yeah,
because it's cheaper.
cheaper. Yeah,
Yeah, we live
as
in a
yeah, yes, right.
yeah. Our world is based on
Yeah,
capitalism,
yeah.
so people
So
care more about
yeah,
the profits.
yeah.
Continue.
Another problem is of the minimum labor cost in Korea is increasing every year. As you know, last
Mm.
year it was increased more than 10%, and then this year it also increased almost 15%.
Whoa.
I think that's a big burden
Mm.
for many factories or uh, many companies.
Mhm.
But I I think Korean government prepare many methods to make it better.
Mm. For example.
For example, Korean government prepare some policy to support them unemployment people by
Mhm.
tax. Or they are also preparing some job position, public job positions.
Stop. I heard something. Support, monetary, financial support for
Yes,
unemployed people, like
yeah,
a monthly allowance or something.
exactly. Yeah,
How do you feel about this? Yeah, you're
my
an
yeah.
employee. It's
For
your
me,
money.
that's my money, that's
Yeah.
my tax.
Yes.
But so I also think about the situation. I could get
Mm.
or lose my job, and then
Mm.
there will be some interval between jobs. So in that
Mm.
case, if I get benefit from the government, then that could be very fair.
You're the first person who said that.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Actually, yeah, because when I had because yesterday I had a very heated debate with a student, and the
Mm,
student said he
yeah,
it took him a long time and a lot of hard work to find his
yeah,
job
yeah,
10 years ago.
yeah,
So he thinks that the youth, especially the fresh graduates,
yeah.
should exert more effort in finding a job.
Yes, right.
And I said, but the number of jobs in your country isn't
Yeah,
that many. And then he said that even though there are still jobs available, it's just that I think he thinks that the youth in Korea today want to get a very, very, very good job without starting from the bottom.
yes. I don't know him. I don't know him,
Mhm.
and then his situation very well. But in some position, in some side, he can insist.
Mhm.
But if you look at the broad side and then the deep side of the social situation,
Mhm.
actually from the objective data, we are losing lots of decent jobs. So
Mhm.
the chance to get a decent job is very narrow. So we should agree with that. And even though the youth, yeah, some people think the youth only want to get a good job and they don't want to act a small company or very low rate
Mhm.
labor cost.
Yes.
But recently, that's not enough to get the decent living life with
Mhm.
the minimum labor cost.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. I
because
think so.
yeah, another factor is maybe 20 years ago, the salary for big company and then small and medium companies salaries were almost same.
Mhm.
But now, recently, the gap is almost doubled. And then
Whoa.
the problem is the job for big company is less than 5%
Mhm.
out of the whole job positions.
Mm.
So
Mm.
only small portion of people get a high salary, and then almost 90, more than 90% people get a low salary. So we
Mm.
can blame the youth on this situation.
And the
Actually, they didn't
situation.
bring this situation. They
It's
bring from the
not.
yeah, elderly.
Yeah. Yeah. They inherited
Yes,
this
right.
situation.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
But
So.
there is
Mhm.
also one thing is youth get a very good education background because
Mhm.
their parents and then their grandparents they prepared lots of education system for them.
Mhm.
Even when I was young, Korea was very poor country, so I couldn't get a very good education background.
Mhm.
But I did my best, and now
Mm.
my kid, my son, like him,
Mhm. Mhm.
he's really enjoying good education system, and he's enjoying his
It's
yeah,
well, I think that is your
yeah,
legacy to
yes,
him.
right. So yeah, we are just trying to give them a good chance to get a good education and then
Mhm.
finally get a good decent jobs. Not in Korea, not only in Korea, over the
But
world. There
yeah,
are
all
lots
over
of
the world.
opportunities yeah, in the world.
Oh wow, at least you think like that,
Yeah.
actually. Because a lot of the people
yeah.
whom I've interviewed,
Yeah.
especially for job interview classes,
Yeah. Yeah.
their sites are only set in Korea.
Yes, right. Actually, I'm an international sales person, and then I'm exporting lots of medical and aesthetic devices to
Mhm.
over the world. So I met
Mm.
lots of people in the world, and then I could discuss with lots of people on the various side aspects.
Mhm.
So I could see the bright side from there.
Exactly. Oh, one last question.
Yeah,
I'm just wondering. Um, as you know, a lot of, not a lot. So maybe some adults, like some of your
yeah,
generation, because you
yeah,
guys have been working really, really hard, and
yeah,
now uh, some people are blaming fresh graduates for not working
yeah.
hard enough. Do you
Yes,
think
right.
that there is some expectation from the older generation for the new generation to
Yeah,
actually make it better?
yeah,
Because it is the older generation's fault, I think.
yeah. Actually, yeah. In this aspect, I also agree with both sides.
Mhm.
So,
There is no
yeah,
right
older
or wrong
generation
here.
just see the youth based on their experience, and then
Mhm.
but youth they don't understand older generation's background and then their history. But now
Ah.
Korea
Yeah.
is becoming a developed country, and then we are also see the welfare of Japan and America.
Mhm. Yeah, because
So
those are
they are, yeah,
powerhouses.
actually, yes, right. They are pursuing the welfare of a developed country, and then they are thinking of the we call the well-being life.
Mhm.
The less hours working time, and they enjoy their free time for their hobby or other things.
Yeah, because I heard that, work hours in your country, killer.
Yeah,
Absolute killer. All
yeah.
right.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyways, we're nearly out of time, but do you have any questions
No.
before I give you my feedback? Wow.
Yeah, that's
I
all.
like
And then
having
hope to see you.
conversation with you.
Okay, thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Me
And
too.
hope
I
to
hope
see
to
you
see
next
you.
week again.
Yes. Thank you. Bye, Taebong.
Bye bye. 다 끝냈어?